Okay, I guess I'm live. Let's see. Yep, I'm alive. Okay, so this probably you're gonna see this as a recording. Let me just fix a few things here. Do a little fix up here. I don't see where this is. I guess yeah, that's it. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is hi everybody, it's Jim of Animateducated. If you're watching this live, you are lucky because I'm just doing this for fun and to see, get back into doing live streaming events. Ooh. And anyhow, I've been working on this thing for a while, and I thought, maybe I should just document some of the process so you can see how boring it is, how tedious it is, and how, you might want to do something else for a living, like maybe something more useful, like becoming a scientist or possibly, I don't know, doctor, lawyer, I don't know, something more, more useful, clean up the Earth's atmosphere, become an astronaut, something like that. So I'm just going to show you this. This is something I've been working on. It's actually it's real. What is it? It's an outtake from Thundercats. One of the artists, the voice artists, recorded this, and I've thought it was hilarious. Hilarious? Is that a word? I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to actually put this out there and see. I have no idea if anybody's going to watch this and if anybody cares. But I'm going to do it just for fun and just to see if I can do this. So here we go. This is what I got. Let's show you what I'm looking at. So this is this is Lino from Thundercats, if you don't know what that is. And maybe you do or don't, I don't know. But anyway, this is Lino, and I'm just going to show you what I'm doing here. And I might switch over to see if anyone's actually watching this. I can't even tell. It looks like nobody's watching this. Well, that's good. I don't expect anyone to watch this right now. So, but if you do, you can write something here. You can. I'm just writing this in the chat area if it even exists. And what's the word? Text me here. Let's say hi. Okay. Hoi. Hi. There we go. So let me just set all this stuff up here. There we go. So I'm on, and this is what I've got. So basically, I've got three images. I've got this one, I've got that one, and I have another one, which is down here. Okay? So those are my three images right there. All right? And what I'm doing is I'm trying to connect these. Let me see if you can hear this. And I might have to go. I'm checking this out to see if you can actually hear this. So hold on just a second. Switching targeting computer. Here we go. Just to see if you can actually hear this. So I'm going to play this a few times. And let's see.
I should have known the Territor didn't mean us any harm when the Sword of Omens didn't obey me. And anyway, it was... I should have known the Territor didn't mean us any harm when the Sword of Omens didn't obey me. And anyway, it was... I should have known the Territor didn't mean us any harm when the Sword of Omens didn't obey me. And anyway, it was...
So, yeah, I know it looks odd right there. So all this stuff that you're seeing where he's talking is what I animated. So I'm got a bunch of different heads, and this is kind of broken up in different things. This head is actually a lot of parts. I've got a mouth part here. I've got eyes here. I've got a chin is basically the face and all this stuff. And then I have a head, which is actually the head, the face. And then I've got this hair, which is here. And you'll notice that the hair down here is all
I should have
It's kind of moving around, okay? And so this is what I'm doing, is I'm taking this.
known the Territor didn't mean us any harm.
And all these mouths are just a series of mouths. There's not a whole bunch of them. I think there's only, let's see, if I can click on the mouths, there are, as you can see up here in the drawing substitutions, I only have probably about, I've got a bunch of mouths here. My cat's licking a bag. Hold on a second. Hey, get out of here from that. All right. So anyway, but see, some of these aren't colored yet, you see. But this is where he starts to laugh.
Territor didn't mean us any harm.
So at one point, now this is the tricky bit, is I'm trying to get this to turn.
Sword of Omens didn't.
He gets into here. Now, for some reason, that's on the body layer right here. So what I'm doing is I'm going from this kind of pose here, and I'm going to make it go into this pose. And I've kind of started to work on that right here. I can turn all this stuff off so you can get an idea of where I'm at. So we'll turn off that layer. Like that. We'll turn off this layer here. Yeah. And we'll just deal with some drawings. So he's basically going from this drawing, and he's going to go up into this one. And the joke is that he's talking about the Sword of Omen. The Sword of Omen! And so I'm trying to get the Sword of Omen up there before he says Omen.
Omens didn't obey me.
Didn't obey me. And besides. And so this is where I can decide if I'm going to... See, it looks like he has a mouth on his chest talking. Hello, I am Lino's chest. Hello. So I've got to decide if I want to have this, because this is hard. Drawing this up into this style, and I'm not used to this Superman kind of style, but I'm trying to keep it from one, as I move from my drawing to this drawing, I'm trying to keep it as close as possible to the same style. So he says that Sword of Omens doesn't obey me. And I think what I might do, just to save myself some time, instead of having him bring the thing back down, maybe I can get away with cutting to a closer shot. Not this again, but I want to get to, I'm trying to get to, where am I? I'm trying to turn this on. I'm trying not to get to that one. Where's the one I had? I'm trying to get to this one here. This close-up shot. So it might be one of those things where it might jump to him holding his sword above his head, and then, it's like the animators or the the production company's like, just how long is it going to take you to animate that sword to go down into this pose? It's going to take a few hours or more. Okay, you know what? Let's just cut. Let's cut from, this fancy shot of him holding the sword. We'll just cut to this shot and have him talking. And so that's how I'm thinking, because I don't want to do a lot of work here. I just want to get this out before it's like, 3 years from now, and which can happen. So yeah, so that's what I'm gonna do. So that's what That's what I'm thinking about doing. So what I'm gonna do here is I've got this looking pretty good. I know it looks a little crazy right now. Let me see if I can turn this off. But yeah, and he's got different heads popping up and stuff.
Sword of Omens didn't. The Sword of Omens
didn't obey me.
Didn't obey me.
And so this is where he didn't obey me. And anyway. And so I think I can cheat this. I think I can cheat this by having him look that way and then this way. What I'm going to do is this. I'm going to start my cut where he's talking this way, and I'm going to bring the sword forward towards his face, so it won't be in screen, and then it will like come into screen like this. And because this is what happens, he says this whole thing, and if you haven't joined us before, I'm going to pull this little indicator back so you can hear the entire thing that happens. Now, it's going to be a little choppy here, but if you listen to the dialogue, you'll get what's going on. All right? So here we go. Let's see what we got. All right, so I'm going to switching to targeting computer. Here we are. Just to see if anyone is even watching. Nope, still nobody's watching. Okay, great. I'm doing this totally in secret. All right. So this is what we're going to do. We're taking this, and we're just going to play this for you. So this is the entire dialogue of what he says. Okay.
And anyway, it was just plain stupid to assume it might be bad. Just what the fuck am I talking about?
So that's what he said.
I should have known the Territor didn't mean us any harm when the Sword of Omens didn't obey me. And anyway, it was just plain stupid to assume it might be bad. Just what the fuck am I talking about?
So when we pull back from where he's saying, what the F did I, what am I talking about? You know, that's a good spot to show, you know, that the actor is just like, doesn't know what am I doing? So he's breaking character. So this is where I'm going to actually use this zoom to kind of, now I have to draw his whole body again and figure that out. So I have a bunch of different layers popping on his face right now, but that's just how it is. Okay. So anyway, what can we do here? So we're just going to rough this in. So he's going to be talking like that. And then at one point, like right here, we're going to cut. So that means all this other stuff is going to change. So we're going to lose all this stuff because we don't need it. I don't think we do. Let me make sure. We need, yeah, that's his body. Okay, so we need that. Yeah. So what we'll do is we'll bring this back to here, and then we'll get rid of this other stuff like up here on these layers where we have his head. There's his head up there. So we can go to the bracket keys and we can pull this stuff back to 0. We can go up to those eyes right here, and we can use the bracket keys to there. And then we can clear some of this stuff out of here. Because all this stuff is just, you know, all this, we already have all this stuff, I think. Yeah, so I'm just going to turn that off. That's a nice thing about this program. You can just hide stuff. See, it's going to this, and then when it's there, you can go back to there, and it disappears, you see? So so now we can add more stuff here. All right, so you kind of have to do that one at a time, I think, unless you can select everything and then put it to there, but I could be wrong. Let's try. Let's see what we do here. So I'm going to just select all this stuff and then just kind of use the bracket key to go all the way back. Yeah. Oh, great. See, I saved myself so much time. Right? So now we've got this one popping up. That's the body of the old one. So we want this one. That's the new one. So see how this drawing is on the same, it's sharing. So I've got like this whole thing I've done here of all these different parts. So these are all drawings, and I can substitute that anytime I want. And yeah, so it's in that thing there. So I'm going to hold on this drawing here and just see what I got. So you've got all this other stuff in through here. So we could select all this stuff like this. We can select this entire layer like that, I think. He said as he tried to do it and it wouldn't work. No? There. Select all that stuff. And then just go to your no exposure. Doink! Okay, so it did that one. All right, well, then I have to do, I guess, section at a time or something like that. Let's see. Okay, maybe it's like one of these section at a time kind of thing. Just go to there. Yeah, that might be it. Okay, so I don't think so. Let's see if that works. So if you select all this stuff, it's all the same, but they're on different sections. So yeah, see, it's not going to take everybody out. But now you have that one. You would have to go to this layer here and select the whole thing, and then go to no exposure, hit that, it disappears. So it's just turning it off. That's all it is. All that stuff is still there. You don't want to hide all this stuff and make it disappear completely. And anyway. So I want to see if I can reuse that body, but I want to make it bigger because I don't want to have to draw this guy again if I don't have to. So anyway, we're going to take this. There we go. And this is his body. So we'll go up to that up here. If we go up here, we just go to no exposure, hit that, it disappears. See? That's what we want to do. All right. So here we have a scene where it starts off with a close-up of this character, and we're going to zoom back. Okay. So if we zoom back right now, we don't have anything here. We don't have any good drawings of him. Let me show you, shall I? I shall. See, if I zoom back, look, he doesn't have anything there. All right. So what I'm going to do is attempt to take this, which is kind of smaller, and if I can just highlight that, I might be able to do a little cut and pasting here. Cut and pasting. So here, he's very tiny. Got a tiny body there. I don't know if you can see that. It's a tiny body. Why did I put yes on that? I don't know why I said that. Anyway, okay, so we're already at 17 minutes, and everyone is just falling over watching this. It's amazing. Okay, so here what I'm going to do is just make this bigger. So I'm going to push shift. I'm holding down my shift key, and I'm pulling this back because I want it to be, he's supposed to be this big macho guy. I'm eyeballing it. Oops. Something's goofy. Why is this goofy? Why? I don't like this. I don't like this. I don't like these noises. What are these noises doing? Sounds like a video game happening. Control V. There. Okay, Control Z. Sorry. All right, so I'm going to push Shift. I'm holding the Shift key, and I'm pulling this back and just eyeballing this to a certain point where he's large. He's got a large, thick neck. And I'm going to carefully move. Oops. See, carefully is a key word here. And let's go back to 0. Okay. Okay, so we're going to shift. Hold down the shift key because you don't want this to get fat. We want it to be pretty good. So I'm eyeballing his neck there. There. Okay, so now we've got that. We're going to bring this over here, and we're going to kind of figure out where his chest is and all that. So like something like this, it looks like it's about here. And we can fake this a bit. We can rotate this a little bit this way. Kind of get this in. We haven't really drawn this completely yet. We're just trying to get this pretty good. Yeah, so something like that might even be fine. So we've got this big neck. we got this big kind of body builder physique there. So you see, now I've got enough room for that, and it's on the same layer as my head. Did I do that right? Yeah. So now we've got his head on that layer, and we got his body on that layer. So we can combine the two.
It was just plain stupid to assume it might be bad.
That when we zoom out to see if this will work. And besides, I don't even think anyone cares to watch this video unless they are trying to fall asleep. And besides, okay, so it's here. As we zoom back, you notice that what's happening is the photograph itself is going back like that. Okay. Now I want the camera. I need a camera. So right now I have a camera down here, but I don't have it on a peg. So I know this is hard to see, but right down here is a little camera by itself. And you can get that camera by going here to that plus and adding a camera right there. And then when you do that, it pops there. But to move a camera, you need what's called a peg. So I'm adding a peg, highlighting the camera, adding the peg. Now I've got a camera with a peg. And what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to click on the camera peg there. And sometimes you can do stuff like this where you can start it like that. And then you can actually follow it down. So that's how big it's going to be. So I'm going to make another keyframe for the camera there. And I'm actually going to, now if I move my camera, I'm going to make my head, that artwork's going to get small too. So this is kind of what I've got as a guide. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to that camera layer. I'm going to turn this on by going over to the animate button, the little running man, and then go to that transform button, turn that on. See it lights it up. That's the camera right there. So now I can actually pull my camera on the edges, you see, and see it's getting my whole character is getting smaller there. But what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to actually turn off this one here. So hopefully it'll stay the same size, you see. So if I turn off this one, he's going to be about the same size. So there, that's looking pretty good. What the fuck am I talking about? So there we go. Amazing, isn't it? So he's kind of there. I kind of want him to be, the positioning's just too centered for me right now. So I'm actually going to just kind of, I don't want to go to the pivot point. If you go to the very center, you get like this little crosshair with a P. That's the pivot point. I don't want to move that. But if I go a little off center of that, it's not there. So now I can pull it down a little bit more. So we can see this big beefy cake guy a little bit more this way. Okay? So now when he pulls that, we get to see a little bit more of him in there. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. So I'm just setting this up right now. And then the other thing now is to think about his neck and all that. So his neck is kind of going to be inside his head, which I don't want. So, like I said, it looks good at a certain point. Like right here, it looks good. Right there, but see, when it goes to this, it's not so good. So what I have to do is I have to connect these two things. So that's his head, and that's his body. So I'm going to actually select, let's see if I can do this. I think I can select his whole body like this. I can Control C to copy. Then I'm actually going into that frame, and I'm going to paste it. So Control V to paste. There he is. He's where he's supposed to be, but now I'm going to interfere. I'm going to put this, and it's going to interfere with all the drawings I just did. So I'm going to pull them over here just to see, okay, what I got to do. All right, and basically I just have to eliminate a few lines. So I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to eliminate some lines here. So all I'm going to do is just kind of get some of these away. Let's see, where's my thing? I don't know if I have that transition tool. There he is. Make this eraser a little bit bigger. So basically he's doing this. I don't know why this sometimes does this. It puts paint on here. So there we go. We're going to take right away these necklines here, just so we don't interfere with his whole face. And we can always, replace it. We can always replace it later. And besides, there. All right, so now we got that, and now we're going to put them back together. Here we go. Pull them back over here. Line up your main transmission. You want to make sure that that's working pretty good for you. Okay, and so, yeah, that's looking pretty good. Now, let's turn off our Lino. Let's see, the Lino drawing. There it is. And we're just connecting those lines up, making sure those lines are working with our Lino drawing. Make sure that that Lino is that Lino. And you have some little extra drawings that are going to have to disappear. But that's looking pretty good. So, see, we've got some extra necklines in there. So we could, we can go in here. Oops. Let's just zoom in a little bit so you can see them. And so, yeah, so we can erase some of that stuff. Use the cutter tool too. That helps sometimes. Look, he's got a big thing there. That's going to interfere with that. What else we got? We've got this one. And, yeah, so we're just trying to fix these lines up, take out some of those extra lines that we don't need. His name is Lino, but we don't need to show all these lines on Lino. And then certain things we can play around with, take some of this off. Yeah, there we go. There we go. So that's better. Okay, so some of you might be a little like, oh my God, look, his thing isn't connected. Don't worry about it. It's a joke. We're just doing it's a jokey. Somebody's gonna watch this for 5 seconds on their phone, and they're not even gonna notice it. They're not gonna name their children Lino, after this, like, I don't know, maybe they will. I don't know. But see, there we go. Okay, so that's all. There we go. It's good. All right, so I'm gonna probably see. This is how long the animation takes.
Sword of Omens, when the Sword of Omens didn't obey
me. Okay, so I can do this one.
Sword of Omens didn't obey.
So I could do this kind of quickly. I don't have. I guess the minutes are kind of going along here. So let me see.
Sword of Omens.
So at this point, he's going to be like this, and I have a bunch of, you can see here, I've got a bunch of faces up there that are problem. So he's going to be turning his head, and then he's going to be talking all this time. So I'm going to go ahead and take these out of here, and I'm going to take that one out, just delete it. Take this one out and delete it like that. And now I don't have any mouths. So this is where he's going to be talking this direction. Omens. So we still have these mouths up here, except they're in the wrong place. So I have to do a little cut and paste too for this as well. So let me show you what that looks like. And I'll bore you even more. Okay, so his mouth. I wish I could move faster, but usually when you move faster, you don't understand what's happening. So here, like I said, I have all these drawing substitutions, and they're all the same, kind of the mouth, you know, and he's talking very seriously. And so I can reuse this. I could take this mouth here, and it's in the wrong place. But if I highlight this layer, and I copy it, make a copy of it, and then I kind of delete this space. I already have it in copy, so I'm going to delete the space right here. There, I've deleted it, I believe. Did I delete it? No, it's still there. Hold on, delete that. There we go. So I have a space now. I have a hole there. And I can go over to keep my cursor in the stage area, and I can click V to paste. So I pasted the mouth. Now the mouth is the same place, but I can move the mouth over here. And he's got a littler mouth, right? His jaw is smaller. So I'm actually going to rotate this. You see, I'm going to transform this by flipping horizontally, and now it's that size. But I can change it again by making it smaller like this. I don't want to move it too much like that. It gets all crazy, and besides, so you want to use shift to hold it and do it like that. So I'm just trying to get this over here and line it up to Lion-O and get it kind of in that same pose. Now it's on a different layer, so I can actually squish him a little bit more this way and that way. Okay, something like that. Now I've got him there, and some of the details on his face, let's see. No, it's just a chin, but there's his lips and all that. Now the thing about this is I've switched that one, so it's going to be a little hard to kind of to get the others to do that too. And in this case, there's only one I think mouth position where he has his mouth open and his jaw actually gets bigger. There, it's that one drawing there is the only one that's big. Everything else, that mouth, that jaw just stays the same. So that's what I have to decide. Do I want to go through this and, you know, kind of copy each one and paste it and try to paste it there, or do I want to just get one and then adjust it? So what I probably would like to do is to find that big one, right? The one where it's the one jaw that's bigger, which is right here. I should have known that was the big one. So again, what I'll do is I'll copy it, copy, then I'll pop over here and I'll go to that key right there and I'll delete it so it has an opening, and then I will do the same thing. I'll paste it. He's got his mouth's too big to fit on his face. It's going to be too big. So I have to go over here and I do a little maintenance. Go to transform button, flip horizontally. All right, now that you got your main carburetor corrected, your flaboscam, you got to make sure that it's going to be retro. Now, what you do here is real easy. You just have to hold down the shift key, go to the edge of the drawing. The reason you always go to the edge of the drawing so you can shrink it down. Okay, so you're shrinking her down. Shrink her down like that much. Right? You can eyeball it. You can bring it back over here. But the main goal here, though, is you're just trying to make it look like Lino's opening his big jaw. And it's going like that. So this is where it kind of takes some time to, you got to eyeball it, see? You got to go that. He's going to go, I should have known. Okay, so already it's kind of attached itself to there. But the nice thing about this is you can go to Control Z sometimes. Okay, so now it goes back to this. And I think this is the same size. No, it's a little bit. Yeah, it's a little bit. Maybe could be a little smaller. Anyway, let's just see if we can just kind of adjust this a little bit. And we're doing this. So what I'm going to do is go over here. And I'm going to take out his chin. Now, if I take out his chin, yeah, I got that one already, so that's good. So yeah, so I can take out that chin. Just erase it. There we go. We open up that chin area. And now when we look at our chin, there he is. He's there. And we can adjust his layer a little bit. Sometimes we can just kind of go in here and just kind of adjust it. Oops, we're just trying to get those lines to line. Just trying to get Lino's lines to line up here. There we go. Maybe we can take that one out completely. There we go. There he is. I should have known that the Territor would be here. But besides, okay, so that's basically it. That's where he is. And so this one, we just have to kind of grab that one and pull it over. Well, actually, I'm just looking to see where he... Turn on the onion skin. That's a good thing. See, you can see it now. There he is. Turn on that onion skin. That'll help. You're trying to get the mouth to still be in the same general area, but you want it to go down just a little bit. Maybe something like that. You can still adjust it here. I don't know why that thing keeps popping up. Trying to just adjust it like that. There we go. And now it should look like he's talking. His mouth does open slightly more. There we go. Lion-O. There we go. All right, so just to recap, I am now going to go over here and I'm going to save this because I don't want to, and I'm going to do a new version. That's always a good thing to do, guys. Always go to new version, put number 2. Now I'm going to make it number 3. So I know that that's the version I have. Always, always, always try to do that because otherwise if you don't, I used to do that for years until I started to see not just myself but other people getting in trouble with that. Let me click off of here. But that's what I got so far. So he says, I am tiny-headed Lion-O. But see, he's going to do this. And then he's going to start talking omens. And so those are the drawing substitutions that I'm making right now. I'm just adapting and making new ones. And he's going to talk and do all that stuff. So anyway, it's been about a half hour watching this. I hope you've enjoyed this. Hope you learned something, because that's what it's all about, really. Let me see if I can turn this back on. Yeah, here we go. So yeah, it does take a lot of time, and especially if you don't know how to do something, it takes even longer. But if you do it a bunch of times, you'll get better at it, and you'll know exactly how to do it. It just takes practice. That's all it is. And this, like I said, this thing is taking me a long time to do. Something that's only going to be on the screen for what? I don't know, 10 seconds or something like that, maybe. Yeah, it takes a long time. So it's also this character is very detailed, and you know, back in the day when they did make these shows like this, it was always just kind of like a pose, a lot of talking, blinking. I must go over there, and then a quick few drawings to this pose. But besides, I could, you know. So that's how it was. But I'm kind of, it's taking me longer to make that than it would be probably in the real, you know, when they actually did this, because they did it so fast that they needed to get it done, and they didn't really sit there and have reference footage or anything like that. They just kind of drew it and made it work because it was TV, and they had to get out a bunch of episodes in a hurry. So anyhow, so I hope you enjoyed this, and if you did, you can go ahead and like this, or you can watch other videos and bring up my numbers and all that. And I really appreciate you stopping by, and I'll have some more of these if you're interested. You leave a comment below, and yeah, and we'll see you next time on Animateducated. So I'm going to stop recording now, and is this even streaming? Yes, it is. Okay, so I will now stop streaming.